Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Yashodanandana Braj Jana Ranjana. Yashodanandana Braj Jana Ranjana. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramhamsa Parivrajacacharya Stotha Sat Shri Srimad Abhay Charnaravind Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramhamsa Parivrajacacharya Stotha Sat Shri Srimad Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada Ki. अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की, नामाचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की। प्रेम से कहो जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की। मदर्स डे महाउत्सव की, मदर्स डे महाउत्सव की, मदर्स डे महाउत्सव की। निताई गौर प्रेमानंदे। All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Shri Guru and Gauranga. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much for joining us on this Sunday afternoon on a very, very special day where we celebrate mothers. Yes, we actually celebrate mothers every day, but this is just a calendar assigned day. That's my son. Thank you. So, we're going to read. We're not going in a chronological order today because it's special. So, we're going to read from Srimad Bhagavatam, and we're going to read from the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam is non-different than the body of the Lord. And the first canto is considered as the lotus feet, the beautiful, cool, shade-giving lotus feet of the Lord. How many of you feel that the heat is very scorching? Yes? The material existence heat is scorching? Yes. That's not allowed, yes? Yes. So the shade of the Lord's lotus feet is very, very soothing and calming. So the verse we're going to read is a beautiful description of Krishna coming back from Hastinapur after the war is over. He was gone for a very extended period of time, right? He was helping the Pandavas gain their kingdom, establishing Maharaj Yudhishthir, who is Dharmaraj. Yes? And after that, he is now coming back to Dwarka. The beautiful scene is that all the Dwarka Vasis are waiting in great anticipation of Krishna, to see Krishna, because they've missed him so much. They've been hearing that this is what happened on the battlefield, this is what happened over here, but they have missed Krishna. All their eyes were eagerly waiting to drink the nectar of the beautiful form of Krishna. Krishna arrives in Dwarka, and that's the verse that we're going to actually recite today. I will recite, try to repeat after me, and then we'll take a few repetitions. Pravistastu griham pitro Parivakta swamatrabhi Vavande shirisha sapta Devaki pramukha muda Pravishtastu griham pitro Parivakta swamatrabhi Vavande shirisha sapta Devaki pramukha muda Pravishtastu griham pitro Parivastak swamatrabhi Bhavande shirisha sapta Devaki pramukha muda. Please recite. We can take a few. Devaki pramukha mudha.
Pravishtastu graham pitro Parishvaktah swamatrabhihi Bhavande shirasa sapta Devaki pramukha muda
pramukha mudha. One young adult would like to try? Whoever considers themselves young. Okay. Pravishtha, after entering. Tu, but. Griham, houses. Pitru, of the father. Pravishtaka, embraced. Swa, Matrabhi, by his own mothers. Vavande, offered obeisances. Shirisha, his head. Sapta, 7. Devaki, Pramukha, headed by. Muda, gladly. After entering the house of his father, he was embraced by his mother's present, and his obeisances unto them by placing his head at their lotus feet. The mothers were headed by Devaki, his real mother. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. It appears that Vasudev, the father of Lord Krishna, had completely separate residential quarters where he lived with his 18 wives. Out of whom Srimati Devaki is the real mother of Lord Krishna. But in spite of all this, all other stepmothers were equally affectionate to him, as will be evident from the following verse. Lord Krishna did not distinguish between his real mother from his stepmothers. He equally offered obeisances unto all the wives of Vasudeva present on the occasion. According to scriptures also, there are 7 mothers. The real mother, the wife of the spiritual master, the wife of a brahmana, the wife of a king, the cow, the nurse, and the earth. All of them are mothers. Even by this injunction of the Shastras, the stepmother, who is the wife of the father, is also as good as the mother, because the father is also one of the spiritual masters. Lord Krishna, the Lord of the universe, plays the part of an ideal son, just to teach others how to treat their stepmothers. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Takshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadameyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatham Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Vitamscha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyaivacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So how beautifully the first canto, 11th chapter explains that when Krishna arrived in Dwarka, he immediately first goes to see his mothers. What does he do when he sees his mothers? He places his head at their feet. And the Acharyas say something very beautiful over there. They say that he did not distinguish between his birth-giving mother and all of the co-wives of Devaki. Yes, he considered each and every one of them their mother, his mother. And in fact, Srila Prabhupada in the purport very beautifully mentions that each and every one of us has 7 mothers. That not only are we required to show respect to, we're obligated to show respect to. There is no question of practicing even Krishna consciousness if each and every one of us sitting here were not nurtured by our mothers. If our mothers made a choice of not going through, not taking the bodily trouble to bear even each and every one of us sitting here, we would not be here. Is that a fact? Srila Prabhupada gave so much emphasis on the consciousness of the mother when she's bearing a child. Why? Before the child is even ready to have a guru, to take any kind of instruction, what the mother intakes affects the child, whether through her ears, whether through her consciousness, whether through her food, whatever the mother does has direct impact on each and every one of our lives. Right? None of us over here can say that we were born without a mother. Krishna, however, he accepts a mother. He does not take birth from a mother, just like we do. But even he is showing us how to respect mothers. What's significant? Sometimes we feel we have become devotees and we know better than our mothers, or we know better than our parents for that matter. There are very, very, very few relationships in your life that you will have where someone wants you to be better than them. Do you agree? Very few. In fact, the definition of a true leader is someone who wants you to be better than them. It's a test if you're a good leader or not. Yeah, okay, this one is making a lot of progress. I'm cultivating this person. As soon as that person comes to my level, I start to feel threatened. Right? Find a reason to pull him or her down. What to talk about rising above me? It's suffocating. But a true leader is someone who can really inspire someone to be better than themselves. That's a mother. That's a parent. Every parent wants their child to be better than them. Yes? Do you agree? Every parent wants the child to be better than them. So Krishna, even though he was not born of a mother, he shows us how we respect mothers, because they are our primary teachers. Our whole foundation, bodily, consciously, comes from someone who nurtured us 9 months within our womb. right? The way the heartbeat was developing, the first sound that the child hears is a mother's heartbeat. Yes? So beautifully, Krishna is explaining, Srila Prabhupada is explaining in this verse, Atma Mata Guru Patni Brahmani Rajapatnika Dhenu Dhatri Tatha Prithvi Saptaitva Matra Samsrita. Chanakya Pandit has said that every single person has 7 mothers. And we're going to see from Krishna's life how he reciprocates with these 7 mothers and how we can reciprocate with these 7 mothers. This is not just a day in an English calendar. This is deeply grounded in our scriptures. Prabhupada emphasized the beauty of offering our head at the lotus feet of our mothers. Krishna is describing. He says, Atma Mata, birth mother. Krishna was born, even though he appeared, he accepted Devaki as the mother. Yes, he accepted Devaki as the mother, just like he had a choice. He chose who he wanted to accept as the mother. Even though we also choose in some ways by our activities, by our karma. We've also made some choices, right? By what activity we do. We get a family based on the activities that we do. And like I explained before, how important, if that mother at that point decided she does not want to go through the trouble of, you know how many pounds we put on? Yeah, that baby fat probably takes a whole lifetime. There is no way that you can have the same body before and after giving birth. That is selfless. Prabhupada beautifully described that the closest thing to Krishna's love for us can be felt in a mother's love for the child. The closest thing in this material world is a mother's love to the child. Why? Because it's unconditional. This little baby, without any reciprocation, the mother is feeding it. The baby is kicking the mother, biting the mother when it starts to get teeth, peeing, pooping on the mother, constantly changing diapers. I know when we were raising our boys, my husband had a saying, he's your son till sunrise. You know? Hardly sleeping. Taking all the austerities for what? Maybe once in a while the baby might smile at you. Even for the first couple months, that smile is also not a reciprocation. Right? Selfless love. That's the definition of a birth-giving mother. Continuously raising. What to speak about when the child is being born? I was actually seeing an article. They showed that the IV syringe, we have a doctor in the house here. The IV needle is this big. But epidural needle is this big. I can't even, when I saw that, I took epidural for both my kids. I was feeling grateful for myself. For what you endure. To give birth to the child so that when they turn teenagers, no explanation needed. Everybody knows we all have teenagers. But that's what selfless love is, what a mother does. And Prabhupada said that's how Krishna loves us. The only thing that can reflect to some extent Krishna's love for us can be seen through a mother's love. That's why Prabhupada said, we need to cry like a baby, calling out for the affection of the mother, Krishna, Supreme Personality of Godhead. Yes. That's how it's saying in this beautiful verse that Krishna did not discriminate against any of Vasudev's co-wives. He offered obeisances to Devaki and to all his mothers by visiting them first, showing them respect. Yes, the Acharyas explain that the mother's chest swelled up, even though they were not his birth mothers. This chest swelled up and they were pouring out milk just out of affection for the child. That is Atma Mata, our birth mother. Second, Srila Prabhupada explains in the purport that the second mother that we need to respect and honor is Guru Patni. Our Guru's Patni. Guru doesn't only mean our initiating spiritual master. Sometimes the initiating spiritual masters are sannyasis. We have 4 gurus in our life, but 7 mothers. 4 gurus. 4 gurus. The first guru is a Path Pradaksha Guru. Someone who introduces us to Krishna consciousness. Someone that shows us the path. Path Pradarshak. That's our first guru. Our second guru is our Shiksha Guru. We can have many Shiksha Gurus. Many. Our Acharyas have taken Shiksha even from prostitutes. Right? Shiksha means you take their instruction, and because that instruction takes you closer to Krishna, they become your Shiksha Gurus. Diksha Guru, someone who gives you the name and connects you to the Guru Parampara. Diksha Gurus. And the 4th Guru is our Chaitya Guru, which is Paramatma within our heart. Yes? So the Patnis, the wives of all of these gurus are considered to be our mothers because they nurture us. In the previous days, yes, the students, after the child would go to the Gurukul. And one of the biggest reasons why I think the Gurukul system fails for us in this day and age, because we were trying to run the Gurukul system without the Guru Patnis. The Guru used to be, the Acharya there used to be strict, disciplinary, and the affection would come from the Guru Patnis. They were sitting and putting the children to rest. They were making sure they're fed well. When they were sick, they were taking care of them. They were nourishing them with love and affection. And how that combination of discipline and affection really created wonderful, wonderful citizens and individuals. Even Krishna, he went to the ashram. Within 64 days, Krishna learned all the 64 arts in completion. Right? We're trying to learn one mridanga and it's probably take us 64 years. But Krishna, in 64 days, he learned 64 different arts to perfection. But then he stands there before his Guru and Guru Patni and says, how do I reciprocate with you? What Guru Dakshina should I give you? How do I honor you? How do I show my gratitude to you? Krishna is standing before his Guru and Guru Patni and asking this question. And the Guru says that I know I can ask you for anything. The Guru Patni is weeping there and she's saying, all of you are going to leave, but my son, who I gave birth to, was killed. He died. He went to bathe at Prabhashetra and he was devoured by the ocean. Please bring him back. Krishna and Balram went to the ocean, called for Samudradev. Samudradev said that he has already been swallowed by Panchajanya, name of a demon. He's already been swallowed. So please, my lord, I don't have him. He's not in my grips. He's probably with this Panchajanya demon. Krishna and Balram go to the depths of the waters to find the Panchajanya demon who has completely devoured him, assimilated him. And he said that I already ate him. He must have gone to Yamaloka. My lord, you please go to Yamaloka. That's when Panchajanya demon gave Krishna the Panchajanya conch shell as a gift to pacify. Krishna goes to Yamaloka and brings the son of his Guru and Guru Patni back. This is the capacity of Krishna. So he reciprocated in that way. Whatever capacity we have, we should reciprocate with anyone we have taken instruction for. Anyone who has supported us on our journey towards Krishna. They are worthy of our respect. And we are responsible to respect our Guru Patnis. Of course, we are responsible to respect our Gurus, but we are responsible to respect our Guru Patnis. Yes? And Krishna exhibits that. How much time do I have? Till 1:30? Brahmani. Brahmani is either the wife of a Brahmana. Now we're not even talking about Guru. Anyone, any Brahmani, any saintly Vaishnavi who is practicing Krishna consciousness, who is cultivating Brahmanical principles in her life, should and must be respected. Krishna is showing that when the Yajnak Brahmins, it's a beautiful pastime that comes in Krishna Leela. Krishna and the Gopas are sitting in the forest and the Gopas say, Krishna, we are feeling hungry. They've eaten all that they got from home. Krishna, we are feeling hungry. So Krishna says, here the Brahmanas, they're doing a big sacrifice. They're offering the sacrifice to me. Go tell them that Krishna is asking for food. So the Gopas walk and they go to the Brahmanas and they say, the Brahmanas, Krishna, the Supreme Personality, Krishna is asking for food. So the Brahmana says, we are doing a yajna. We're supposed to do these oblations. We are supposed to give these oblations into fire. Get out from here. Yes? The Gopas dejected, they come back to Krishna. Krishna says, did you tell them that Krishna is asking? Said, yes. They said, get out from here. We're supposed to do the yogic process. We're supposed to do the yajna. Krishna says, now go to the wives of the Brahmanas. Go back. But this time, don't go to the Brahmanas, but to go to the Brahmanis and say that Krishna is hungry and Krishna is asking for food. You know what happened? What happened? They took everything that was cooked and ready to be offered in fire sacrifice. They picked up everything without the fear of what their husbands would say. We'll deal with them later. Yes? They picked everything up and took it for Krishna without the consideration of anything. Such Brahmanis who have dedicated their lives to serve Guru, Krishna, and our society and our movement should and must be respected by every single person that is Brahmani. And Krishna exhibited by giving them so much affection. Krishna exhibited by accepting their offerings. And when they said, Krishna, now you accept us because I don't know what will happen when we go home. Krishna says, nothing will happen. You go home. And that is why the Brahmanis are glorified in the pages of Bhagavatam, because they dedicated everything they had to Krishna. Yes? Such Brahmanis must be respected. They are our third mothers, as Krishna explains, as Srila Prabhupada explains in this purport. And they show us purity. They show us conscience. Raj Patnis. We anyway have this concept, right? Even in our political system, the First Lady. Yeah? Even though the First Lady did nothing, but the First Lady is there, right? She automatically becomes respected. What to speak about the wives of the kings? The wives of the kings must and should be respected. What to speak about the wives of leaders? They must and should be respected. And Krishna explains as a beautiful pastime of Yamuna. My husband was sharing this pastime with me yesterday. How Yamunacharya, and it's beautiful because from the wives of Rajapatnis you can learn fearlessness and strength. They're Shatranis. Even if you look, the very fact that Kaikeyi was given 2 boons. Why? Because she saved her husband in the warfare. Yes? She saved her husband. Over here in the beautiful pastime of Yamunacharya, it is explained that in the kingdom of this, what was his name? Bhavya king? Pandya. Yes, Pandya. Pandya dynasty. You're right. Pandya dynasty, the king had a very, very scholarly individual as his courtman. His name was Kolahala. Kolahala was so expert at arguments, and he was so scholarly, so witty. He had made his own taxation system. He said that anyone that I defeat owes me taxes. And the king agreed. The king said, he's so scholarly, he's like a jewel in my kingdom. So, okay, granted, no problem. Anyone that Kolahal defeats can tax that person. So here Yamunacharya is sitting in his guru's ashram. And Yamunacharya's guru's name was Bhavishya Acharya. Bhavishya, so the soldiers from Kolahal come and they say, Bhavishya Acharya has to pay so much in taxation because he was defeated by Kolahal. So come on, where is he? We will either he pay the taxation or we will bind him. And at that time, Yamunacharya said, really? Bhavishya Acharya was defeated by Kolahal? That is not possible. Tell Kolahal to at least defeat his student first. Then talk about defeating my guru. So the soldiers went back to Kolahal and they told Kolahal that this is what the student was saying. So he said, okay, bring that boy. I will have a discussion with him. And this is happening in the courtyard. The king and the Rajapatni are sitting there and listening to this whole discussion. So the soldiers go back to Yamunacharya. Yamunacharya says that, yes, I will come. But because I have to debate with the mighty Kolahal, then you should send me a palanquin. So the soldiers go back. They say, he's asking for a palanquin. At that moment, Rajapatni says, this boy will not be defeated. This boy knows what to do. This boy will not be defeated. She was so convinced. She had that insight that what a witty boy. He will not be defeated by Kolahal. The king said, there is nobody born who Kolahal cannot defeat. So now they're having their own internal debate. Yes, the husband says Kolahal will defeat. The wife says Yamunacharya will not be defeated. So the wife says, I am so convinced and I know that Yamunacharya will not be defeated. If he becomes defeated, I will give up my position as Rajapatni and I will become your servant. I will become a simple maid servant in your palace. So the king is shocked. Really? That much conviction you have on this boy? He says, okay, if you are giving such, then if Yamunacharya defeats Kolahal, then I will give him half my kingdom. Yes? Now both of them are having discussion. Here comes Yamunacharya. And Kolahal starts to have debate with Yamunacharya. After 10-15 minutes of just having petty debate, Yamunacharya says, what are you thinking? I'm a small child or what? Ask me some hard questions. If you don't have hard questions in your dictionary or your IQ, I will ask you some questions. Let me ask you some questions. He said, I will ask you only 3 questions. Prove, first question he says, prove that refute. He said, refute these 3 questions. Refute that your mother is not a barren lady. Your mother, that means Kolahal's mother, how can she be a barren lady? He has to refute that. That means he is saying, prove that your mother is barren. How do you prove that a mother is barren when the son is present right there? So Kolahal is scratching his head just like I am right now. Just like many of you are right now. Yes? He said, okay, ask the second question. The second question is saying that refute that the queen is a chaste lady. The queen and king are sitting right there. Now Kolahal has to refute that the queen is a chaste lady. And the third question he says, refute that the king is a pious king. By now Kolahal was thinking, I think I'm defeated. Do you want to know the answers? Why? So Yamunacharya says, Kolahal says, I don't know. There is no answer for this. This is ridiculous questions. You prove. If you know, then you refute. Then Yamunacharya says, you don't even know these simple things and you claim to have defeated my guru? He quotes Shastra and he says, any mother that has had only one child is considered barren. She should have at least 2 children. Shastra says a mother with only one child is considered barren. Your mother had only you. Your mother is a barren lady. He says, okay, accepted. Prove, refute. How is the queen unchaste? In the body of the king, all the demigods reside. Yes? In the body of the king, all the demigods reside. So, the Raj Patni, how can she be chaste? All the demigods are residing within her body. He said, accepted. Now you try to prove that the king is refute that the king is a pious king. This king, he himself is very pious. But he's a very, very pious individual. But remember, every leader, every king takes 1/6 of the sinful karma of all of his citizens. So the king is the most sinful because he is taking 1/6 sinful activities of all of the citizens. And Yamunacharya won the debate. And the king gave him half the kingdom. And Yamunacharya ruled half the kingdom for an extended period of time. This was the vision and the strength and the fearlessness of Rajapatni. Wisdom she had that just when the child asked for a palanquin, she knew this is not an ordinary child. He's very witty. He knew how to respect his guru and how to respect himself. Such leaders' wives are worthy of our respect. We owe our respect to them. This is Rajapatni. Dhenu. Cows. Srila Prabhupada said that anyone that gives us selfless nourishment, right? When we are initially, for many, many months of our life, we're nurtured by our mother's milk. And then we're nurtured by cow's milk. Srila Prabhupada used to say that people who drink the cow's milk develop such fine tissues in the brain to truly understand spiritual subject matter. Selfless nourishment. A cow nourishes even others than their own child. Yes? As mothers, we nourish our own children when we feed them milk. But cows, along with their own calves, they also nourish everyone. Indra, when he tried to kill the Brajvasis, we celebrate the Govardhan Leela. When Indra tried to kill the Brajvasis by pouring Samataka clouds and inundating Braj with torrential rains, Krishna did not want to even see him. What does he do? What does Indra do? He knew the right pulse. He takes Surabhi cow. he first takes Surabhi cow near Krishna. Krishna, seeing the cow, melts at heart, and only then is he even willing to have a conversation with Indra. Even Indra knows how to respect cows. Yes, even Indra knows. In fact, there's a beautiful pastime that comes in the Puranas that Surabhi cow in the heavenly planets, she lives in the heavenly planets, but she feels for all her children. Once Indra was just strolling in his palatial gardens, and few drops of warm water touch his body. So he looks and he sees that, oh, these are tears from Surabhi cow. And Indra says that, Mother, are you seeing any calamity coming on the demigods? Why are you crying? You're residing in the heavenly planets. Why are you crying? Are you seeing that there's going to be any calamity for the residents of Swargaloka? He says, no, I'm witnessing how my children are being treated on the earthly planet. Selfless nourishment. That is what cows does. Krishna is, these beautiful pictures you can see. Gopala, Govinda. Krishna loves to be known by the protector of cows. Yes? So, showing love to cows, showing respect to cows, showing affection to cows, and protection to cows is our way how we reciprocate. You have something to add?
Even the name of his own Loka is Goloka.
Yes. Yes, his own house is called Goloka, place where there are cows. Dhatri. What more of a wonderful example than Putana, right? What more of a wonderful example. Putana did not even try to be Dhatri. She came smearing her breast with Kalakuta poison. Deadly poison meant to kill small children. She killed so many children. She came in disguise, dressed as a beautiful, beautiful celestial being, smearing her breast with Kalakuta poison. Krishna sucked the poison, sucked the milk, sucked the life air, and sucked the soul out of her body. But even after doing all of that, he respected her because she gave him milk. She tried to nourish him, respected her by giving her the position of a dhatri, a mother in the spiritual realm. Can you imagine the respect Krishna has for all his mothers? Even someone who pretended to be a mother. That is the kind of affection. In Ramayana comes a beautiful story that Matrah was actually a dhatri. She had nurtured Kaikeyi as a baby, and then she nurtured even Bharat as a baby. Shatrughan wanted to immediately kill Kaikeyi when he heard that it was because of her conspiracy that Lord Ramchandra was banished to the forest. He immediately wanted to kill her. And Bharat holds her hand and says, even though she is worthy of being killed, Lord Ramchandra will never accept us killing our mother. She was our dhatri. Do not kill, otherwise you will be bereft of the mercy of Lord Ramchandra. The Lord expresses how we should respect and care for our mothers. Dhatri. And the seventh, we talk so much about Now people are talking so much about, how we treat the planet. Prithvi. Prithvi is our mother. What do we learn from Prithvi? Resilience, tolerance, infinite tolerance. What not are we not doing here? Yes? Drilling through her body, making highways, subways. But she says, I can tolerate anything. Anything. Lord, as Varahadev took the very form of Varahadev, was to protect the earth, protect Prithvi. He took the boar form to go and uplift the earth that had sunk to the ocean, sunk at the bottom of the ocean because of Hiranyaksh. And he pulls her out and reinstates her first with great awe and respect, reinstates her where in her position, and then goes to fight with Hiranyaksh. Yes? How we take care of the resources that have been provided to us. Prabhupada was so conscious of how we took care of the resources. Prabhupada was taking a survey of a temple and he was just walking by and he saw that fan was on in one place. And he just walked and he showed his cane. The devotees, they just looked, they didn't understand. Second round, Prabhupada came, he said again he's showing his cane. Third round, he said, are you all blind? You cannot see, but I can see. This is Krishna's resources. Prithvi is considered as our mother. Every time, if you really live a Vedic life, what were we taught? That as soon as we step foot on Prithvi, we first offer obeisances. We beg for permission to put our feet. There is no question of being Krishna conscious before we become conscious. Where is the question? We have to become conscious of everything connected with Krishna to truly become Krishna conscious. There is absolutely no. Here we feel we have become devotees and we don't need to do anything. Yes? No. A devotee is a person who actually becomes more and more law-abiding. Not just law-abiding to this planet, but law-abiding to the cosmos. The rules and regulations that are set up by the cosmos, by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And he is showing us, by his example, how to respect women, how to respect mothers, how to honor them, how to protect them. And it is our responsibility to protect all our 7 mothers. It is our responsibility to honor all our 7 mothers and show gratitude to all our 7 mothers. And we don't have to limit it to one day in a year. Yes? One day is just an expression, at least one day. But it is every day that we must respect any Vaishnavi that is trying to practice Krishna consciousness and trying to help others practice Krishna consciousness. Krishna says that there is no question if a woman is disrespected in any arena, there is no way that there can be peace and prosperity. And Krishna is exemplifying through his... Srila Prabhupada showed so much affection Narad Muni showed affection. So many of our gurus, they would talk about how their mother cared for them. Yes? How their mother expressed when they were being raised, how their mothers respected them and showed affection to them. Gratitude is the primary ingredient to be successful in Krishna consciousness. And gratitude to mothers. I think we can stop here. We're exactly at 1:30. We can take a couple of reflections or questions or some sharing if anyone has. Any reflections, anyone? Did I leave you all speechless or did you all sleep through? Did you all sleep? Yes, Kavya.
I have a question, Matrah. First of all, thank you very much for the wonderful lecture.
Please use a microphone.
Right after this session, I'll probably call my mother.
Please do.
Sure. Yes, amazing. I will show my gratitude to her. My question is with respect to Rajapatni. So we know how Sri Ram is Maryada Purushottam. He came to show what Maryada is as, in the form of a human and leading his life like that. So when he became a king, his beloved wife, Mother Sita, was automatically a Rajpatni.
Yes.
So when certain allegations were leveled against her, then how do we reconcile the fact? Because at that moment, and I might be wrong, maybe, something
You're not
else
wrong.
might be done to show respect to Rajpatni, but instead of doing that, she was sent, in exile. So
That's a very beautiful. Does everybody understand her question? Like Mother Sita was banished to the forest, right? Because of a few people talking. It is explained in Ramayana that Lord Ramchandra himself, first he heard people talking. Then second, he went himself in disguise. And he started to hear more and more. And that started to spread rampantly in the kingdom, right? What that was doing, first of all, they were creating so much offense to Mother Sita. Mother Sita, out of affection for the citizens, if she was out of sight, she would be out of their mind. And at least they would stop committing offense, which was actually pulling them into the deeper realms of this samsara chakra, rather than having awe and respect for Mother Sita. So actually, Mother Sita sacrificed to protect, selflessly to protect the citizens. But Lord Ramchandra, he led a life of respecting his wife. How? He did not use palatial. He lived like a mendicant in the palace. She lived like a mendicant in the forest, but he lived like a mendicant in the palace. He slept on the ground. And when the time came to actually show respect to Mother Sita is during the yajna. He could have married anybody, or he could have chosen to not have anybody sit by him. He's Purma Purushottam. He could have, but he had exact Sita sitting beside him in gold, representing that she is Rajpatni. At that time, he didn't care about what the citizens said. Yes? He made sure that she was present with him. That is respect. And for the protection of the citizens, he banished her to the forest. And she accepted to protect the citizens. That is truly mother. That's actually one of the beautiful examples of Rajpatni. Yes, to truly protect the citizens. Thank you. Any other reflection? Questions? All right, I think everybody's hungry. We have a wonderful feast for all of you. We have pani puris, but the priority is going to be given to the mothers. And the kulfis. We have plenty. We have plenty. We are very compassionate, just by nature, all mothers. So, did you have a question or you have a comment?
Yes, Mataji.
Yes,
Hare Krishna. Thank you for a wonderful class. And I think I should sit by the exit before I ask that question, but I'm still taking a risk. So, when we talked about the Rajpatni and we talked about how the king is not the most pious king, maybe that's what you said? The question refute that, right?
Yes.
So when you mentioned the 1/6 of the
Sinful activity.
sinful activities, is it not that the king only gets that 1/6 of the sinful activity if he's not providing the best protection, which is
No,
keeping the public under his rule on the spiritual path? If
No.
they-
the king gets 1/6 of all of his citizens.
but
In fact, in Ramayana comes a beautiful story. Any leader, many of us like to be leaders, right? Many of us want to lead projects, lead people. Anyone that leads a group and takes taxation in the form of anything, in the form of charity, in the form of appreciation, in the form of prasad, anyone that is in the leadership role has to take 1/6 of the karma of the citizens. There's a beautiful story in Ramayana. Lord Ramchandra was sitting in the kingdom. It was late at night. He went to retire to his room, and a dog is slamming on the bell. Lord Ramchandra had, created a bell that anybody could call for him at any time of the day or night. So there was a big bell. The dog started to pull the ropes of the bell to say that I need justice. So immediately Lord Ramchandra came, said, what is the problem? Here, this is the dog. And he's saying he was bleeding profusely. He said, this person, he beat me. And I want you to punish him. Lord Ramchandra said that if you are so knowledgeable that you can pull the bell, then you only decide what the punishment should be. So he said, make him the Mathadhish of this Math. So the citizens there were like, Maharaj, I think he's a dog. He's not giving him punishment. He's actually giving him a reward. He's making him in charge of this Math. So Lord Ramchandra turned to him. Why are you making him Mathadhish? He said, because in the last life, I was also Mathadhish. I was the Mathadhish, but I lived a very, very disciplined, regulatory, and pure life. I spent my entire life controlling my senses. But because the inhabitants of the Matrah were sinfully inclined, I have received this dog body. So I can imagine the fate of this person who himself has no control on his senses and hit a helpless animal. What is going to be his condition? So please make him the Mathadhish. This is a story in Ramayana. How many of you want to be Mathadhish?
I've heard the story, but I thought I heard in Srila Prabhupada's lecture, if the king. I heard the word if. So that's why I was trying to understand better. That
as soon as the king takes something from their citizens, he becomes bound. That's the reciprocation. And of course, even within our leadership groups within ISKCON, We are told to chant. I know my Guru Maharaj always says that if you're in leadership, you should chant at least 32 rounds on Ekadashi. Or you should increase your austerities. Because you're bound to take some effect of the sinful activity. You're not doing extremely 100% pure devotional service. Till then you're bound by karma. You have something to add?
I'll say, the rule is the king takes 1/6 of taxes. He gets 1/6 of sinful as well as pious credits of his citizens, both.
Yeah.
But if the taxes are more, that proportionate sinful reaction and pious credit go. But because nowadays, people are more, especially in Kali Yuga, people are more sinful. Therefore, more sin are acquired by the leaders.
That's why I'm telling state and federal.
File your taxes. Let them take it.
Thank you very much, Govind.
Srila Prabhupada, sorry, you had something to add.
Thank you very much, Govind Priya Devi. Such wonderful insight. I sometimes joke with her, मेरे बच्चों की माँ. So thank you very much, Govind Priya Devi.
Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Hare Krishna. Before we go for lunch, we have some quick announcements. Next week, Tuesday, we have Ekadashi, that's fasting from beans and grains. So if you'd like more information, please see our devotees. We are starting a new program from May 27th onwards. That's every Wednesday.